Have an awakening spirit. I know I have been off the air for the last 3 weeks, and I want to tell you how I made lemonade out of lemons because of it. On June 23rd, about 8 o'clock at night, Brave TV sent me an email telling me that they were having problems with an upgrade and that there was not gonna be a show. I kept watching the whole week what was going on, and I'm thinking they're losing money because there was not one show that went on. And then on June 30th, something told me to go check their site, and I did, and there was a big, sad face on there saying that they are permanently closed due to financial difficulties. I have to tell you, when I got the email the week before, I knew something was seriously wrong. I just had a gut feeling, and when I saw that, it was like something in my brain broke, and then one of my cars broke. As a result, we still can't get it working right now. And in that period, I was devastated. I was in denial. I kept thinking I was in a bad dream, trying to wake up from the bad dream. But the one thing I did know is that I wanted to keep the show going, and I had to take some time to get through what I was feeling and experiencing during this period because I couldn't do anything. I felt like I couldn't function. I was very depressed and angry, and knowing it was all good, there's still that emotional side of our humanness that comes out with it. And what I did is I regrouped. Once I got a little bit more clarity, like I just came to resolution with things, and reached out to a mentor of mine, and he kind of gave me a little bit of guidance as well. I decided I'm keeping the show going. I knew I was going to keep the show going, and I decided I'm going to reformat it just a little bit. What I'm going to probably do is have a 30-minute show. It's gonna be live. It's still gonna be Tuesdays at 4 PM Eastern Standard Time. And then when I bring on guests, I'm probably gonna do about a 45-minute show is what I'm thinking, so that way we can have a little bit more time with the guests to do things. So I'm navigating this, and right now it feels so odd to me not to have the team behind me. I mean, I'm doing this on my own, and so I'm streaming on Riverside. I've moved all of my accounts over to Buzzsprout, so everything I have all my shows. I'm so happy about that. And I also have an opportunity to bring on an engineer that I worked with over at Brave TV. He was the one who created my artwork and my openers and closers, which are still here. I just have to learn how to import them into a live stream. I can do it on the audios easily enough, but I'm not sure how to do some of this. But I just got this program probably about 2 hours ago, and I got everything streaming as much as I know to do at this moment. And I paid for the full membership, but I'm on a free trial. And I'll be having a conversation with an engineer. Also, I think Friday afternoon, I'll be having a conversation there as well to see if I want to bring the engineer back on or if I just want to take an opportunity to just try this for a little bit and get familiar with doing a live show by myself. And I have to tell you, the I knew this day was coming. I always knew this day was coming. I just didn't know when that day was, and the the executive producer and I finally got worked through a lot of stuff. I was being sponsored. I had over 41,000 downloads by the time the show shut down. So I knew that I needed to keep this show going. And since I moved over yesterday, because we had some issues with getting my shows moved over, when I got them moved over, I had 10 downloads yesterday. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot for someone who thought I was talking to a wall for 2 years, because I really did think that, because I never got to see my numbers. I never got to see a lot of things. And what came out of this was realizing that I was in the process of redesigning a little bit of Awakening Spirit and the Kathleen Flanagan site, and I realized that I had a lot of walls up. and I wanted to take the walls down, and when I took those walls down, this is what happened with Bold Brave TV. I mean, is it a coincidence? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know, but it seemed like it. And the fact that I have downloads and I wake up and I have 15 more downloads, and then after I'm up for like an hour, I have more downloads. So I'm really surprised that I mean, people want to see my show and I'm going to keep the show going. And I had a month of shows ready to go. And since this is my first attempt to doing the show live, because there was a lot of things that kept interfering with me to bring the show up because I really wanted to do it last week, but I couldn't get the shows moved over and I didn't know if it would have been a moot point, but we got that all fixed out. Thank you, Buzzsprout team, for how much they worked at doing this. The other thing too is just realizing that I knew that all the first thing I thought when the show went down and I was in plummeting was realizing that this is a course correction. And I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know what it meant, but I just felt like it was a course correction. And when I don't remember if I told you that I had met this incredible woman last month, and there were lots of things that have shifted and changed from knowing her, and we have been in communication, and a lot of other things are still happening and shifting and moving and changing. And some of the things that I've always said with the ascension process, that one day we are going to just go to bed one night and wake up. And if we are in conflict with our partner and we're supposed to be leaving and they're going to be gone, and that started happening for me a couple of days ago, where I feel like I'm just like people are just starting to walk out of my life. And I think Brave TV had some of that to do with it. I mean, I loved doing the show. I looked forward to doing the show and being here with you. And I'm even more excited because now I have so much more control and I'll be able to see more of what you want, because until I saw the downloads coming in January when I got my first, I think January, I had like 6,350 downloads or something in January. And I could actually start seeing what you guys were looking for and what you wanted. And so I started tailoring the show based on what I was observing of what you were downloading. And it's interesting because even with these because I'm on some new platforms. And so I know that some of this is part of the new platforms that are downloading, that are discovering the show. And I don't know if they're making announcements or whatever. I don't know any of that yet. I'm very, very, very much in the infancy stage here. But the fact that I'm seeing what you guys are still wanting, and I'm going to continue to deliver that. It makes sense to me to do that. I feel like the changes that I felt at the end of last year in December, and feeling like what was gonna happen in January, and everything that happened between, Sal's injury, my father passing away, then the show dying. Okay, that's 3 things. The show dying, I I woke up today feeling like, "Oh my god, I feel like I'm finally back in that energy field that I felt on January, the end of December, of what January was supposed to look like and what this year was supposed to look like." So I think there's a lot of things that have happened. There's probably some more alignment stuff going on planetarily. I don't know, because I haven't talked to an astrologer, because I've just been navigating some very choppy waters. It's all good. No complaints. I've really got to see a lot more about who I am and how I'm navigating and how much I've changed, which is really exciting. And I've also come to the realization of I've discovered more of my own personal value. And I think that's one of the main things, is really learning that side of myself, as far as really valuing who I am and moving into a new direction. I mean, I don't know where this show's gonna go. All I know is that I feel hope for the first time since the beginning of the year, because when you have one major thing after another, after another, after another happening, it does have a tendency to beat you up. And I kept plugging away and I kept facing things, and I created this little bath ritual about this thing with my father, because he was trying to pierce the veil and I wouldn't let him. And I created This is exciting. I actually created how to change your the money. How do I want to say this? We all created our money issues in a particular lifetime where we put a judgment on it, we put a vow of poverty, we did something. And no matter how much mindset work you do and how much you change all of that, if you don't get to the core of what that is, it's not going to change. Well, in this 3-week period, when I was not knowing what to do, right before the show went down, I created this amazing meditation that talks about how to go back to the core of when you created your limitations on money, as far as if it's not flowing or you created a vow of poverty, and how to release that. And you're going back into your timeline. And then when you do that, you're going to erase, you're not going to erase it. You're going to transmute it. And then you're going to weave in different intentions around money. And when I was doing this meditation and I was just sitting there, getting feel of the pacing, making sure it was going to work the way I wanted it to work, I was actually doing the meditation with my eyes open, and then there were times when I closed and I had this most amazing graphic, and I know can be able to show this in Riverside eventually, and I'll figure that out to show you what I woke up to. Well, not woke up, but came out of the meditation looking at. And then when I finally decided to do the meditation where it was 100% undivided attention and go through the process myself, I had the same thing show up, and I don't have screensavers on my computer or anything of what came out of this. I'm going to do a little bit more testing on it. I've got 3 people who are lined out to experience it, tell me, get their feedback, make sure that everything sounds like, and then I'm going to bring it out because we're all entitled to have money, and we're the ones that stop the money flow coming in for whatever reason. And I know that I don't have any issues around money. I think I've done so much mindset work on money and changed a lot of things about money over my lifetime. But it was like, but there was something, and I knew I didn't have a vow of poverty or anything. I know other people have, and I've seen them remove that when they were aware of when that happened, but I didn't have that. And I didn't know where I created it. Well, I found out very, very quickly where it happened, and it made perfect sense of what I did. And I'm thinking that even though you're not going to see immediate results, because these are lifetimes that we redo our money issues. And so what I'm finding that by doing it, I set things in motion. And I think that's another reason why I feel like what I'm feeling right now is because I've set things in motion where I'm now in control of my money, not somebody else, because Brave TV really did control the money. And they didn't follow through on the things that the contract said. I mean, they never really did the contract. The beauty and the grace that I received from Brave TV was being able to get really good at what I was doing, feeling comfortable on the show, understanding more, feeling good that I was coming out, but I was still under a veil. And I didn't know I was still under a veil until I came out and I'm doing this, because now I feel like really exposed, and I will have my numbers, I will have algorithms working, I will have a lot of things working that they did behind the scenes because I was under their umbrella. And I'm no longer under their umbrella. I'm on me. This is all about me and what I'm doing. And so I can build the reach that I have been striving to build. And thank God by the end of this event with Brave TV that I got to see that people really did want to hear what I had to say. And what's really interesting is I was one show short of 2 years on Brave TV. I had 103 episodes with them. I was one of the longest running people, and I had never intentions of leaving. So, again, sometimes when things are meant to be, Spirit's going to intercede and do things. And that's exactly what Spirit did, is that when I was comfortable enough to come out and felt good because I can do all the back end. I could do show prep. I could do everything. It's just this front end that I didn't know how to do. And you know what? It's finding out. It seems like it's pretty easy. This recording seems to be going really well. I know right now I feel like I should be taking a commercial break because I'm at 15 minutes, but I'm not going to. I want to keep talking about just this. I just want to welcome all of you. I want you to know that I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. This is the plan, is to keep the show moving forward, and that I'm going to be bringing in guests again, but I'm going to be going deeper into the things that I'm teaching and learning, because in this 3-week period, I have gone further into myself. I have more clarity. My intuition has gotten stronger, or maybe I just got more comfortable in it. And that's the thing that's what's so cool about all of this, is just how much things is happening. I got a new roof yesterday. That was awesome. Finally, I got a new roof, but I got to listen to everything pound for all day long. But, little things. And to me, for some reason, that was good, because I really had a very bad roof for many years and I didn't realize it because I had been dealing with the water damage in my basement. And I just got sidetracked with getting the roof done. And now that's done. And it feels like the house feels really happy. I know I sound really wacky. I get that. But it does. It feels good, because it was like a big burden was taken off my shoulders that I didn't even know it was there. And then another cool thing is that I've been invited to speak about aromatherapy on another podcast. And so I'm sitting here going, well, I can do my own podcast on awakening spirit, on aromatherapy. And I may do that. It's not going to be under this envelope of where I am with this one, because this is totally different than aromatherapy. But I feel like I have an opportunity that so many doors just opened for me, and they've been coming in, but I haven't really stopped long enough. And I didn't know how to do the aromatherapy show because I was on the network. And since I'm off the network, I could do that now and just have it completely separate and apart from this, which is really cool too. So I love when there are opportunities there, and then what direction do I want to go, and how much do I want to work to make things happen? As you can see, I'm still in my same studio. What I did is I just rearranged my office and my desk. So instead of seeing the backside of it, I moved the desk. It's more in the center of the room, so you can see a little bit more. I think there's more things I want to try to do, but I haven't. But I wanted to just make this so that you're here in my home, and you've always been in my home, but I don't know if you've known that you've been in my home doing this. And now you are. And I'm really excited to be here and to continue this process. I'm excited about some of the shows that I've got coming up for this week that just keeps taking you back into who you truly are, into your magnificence. I'm on this journey with you guys. I really am. I'm as human as you are. I may have a few more tools in my tool belt. I may have been doing this a lot longer than you have, but I understand where I'm at, and I do see where we're going. I have always been close to 20 years ahead of the world, and I'm still there, and I get that now, and I'm okay with it. I feel like I'm starting to meet more of my soul family. I mean, my true soul family, not the wannabes or people that are close, but we're not quite that connected. And I'm starting to meet that. And it's just this amazing experience of finally being able to talk to people. So when I sound crazy, they sound crazy too. And we're not crazy because we actually know the truth and the reality of things. And that's what's really exciting, which then gives me more confidence and in my own ability, starting to see my own worth more. And all of that makes a big difference in life. I mean, we always don't think that, but we really do. And we don't know what we don't know until something starts to present itself. So this whole show going down it's catapulted me. And I don't even know where I'm being catapulted to yet. But I have been writing my next book. I have been writing about a lot of things that I've been doing during this process. And I know eventually I will probably talk more about it, but I'm still very much in the middle of it. But I'm at least sharing where I'm at and what I'm doing. And and I'm blazing. I'm blazing a trail. That's all I'm doing is, like I told some of the people that I'm talking to lately is I never wanted to be seen. I do my best work when I'm invisible, and I still do. But I'm willing to be the front person for these other people to do the things that they need to do because I know that nothing can harm me anymore. I am very, very, very well aware of that. And I don't have any issues about coming out and sharing anything about myself. The other thing that I discovered in the last several weeks also was whenever I put up my name, I always came up as Awakening Spirit, which was my company. I'm now coming up as me, and I'm seeing that more and more people are coming to me. I have some of the most interesting, amazing people coming towards me with stories that, I mean, there's one person that with a story that I don't even know if I know how to handle it yet. That's how intense it is, but it's a story that needs to come out about the times that we are in today. So I feel very honored and privileged that there are people who want to come on my show to go into the depth of where I want to take this show. And they're coming forward. So I don't have to go out and find them. So I'm looking at that because of the work that I've done through Brave TV, and all the work that I've did to get to promote the show and take the show further and market the show to the best of my ability. I think all of that has helped me to get here, that I think that this catapult is because this foundation was laid so strongly in my blindness, so to speak, behind a veil of darkness that I didn't know was there. And I'm not saying they were evil. I'm not saying that. It's just that sometimes when we're behind a veil, we can't see. It's dark, it's shadowy. And I think that was it. And my own personal battles of I was going to do this show no matter what. And I took control to the best of my ability when I was having trouble with Brave TV last year. And I'm still here today. And that's what I think is amazing, is that tenacity really does keep it, because we want to be in a 7-Eleven world. We think we're in a 7-Eleven world, and we're not. The microwave is too slow. But see, that's not life. Life doesn't work that way. Yes, we are accelerated. Everything is accelerated right now. We don't have time to think about anything. It's like all we do is react and react and react. And everything that I am developing right now is for you to slow down, not give up, not stop, slow down. Because when you slow down, you can see what's going on. You can start looking back at what the value is of your life. And you have a value, regardless of what you think or people tell you. You have a value. And it's in the slowing down process. I created the Spirit of Scent for Awakening Spirit. It's 4 essential oils. It's a quiz. You go on awakeningspirit.com. You can take that, and there's a little quiz you can take. It's all free to get you to start to slow down. Take in life through essential oils. And when I created this, every time I tried to do it, there's only one oil I couldn't get to because I'm still in my own personal deep healing because of this whole thing with my father. Now, I think I'm fine, but I know that the minute I say that, something's going to happen and it'll change. I already know that. So I'm not going to worry about it. But I'm just saying that, I have the Activation of Light guide. I have How to Find Peace in Chaos. All of these things are on my websites. I've had people that have bought the Heal Emotionally Now meditation. I'm going to rename it because it's not the right name. I don't know what that name is yet, but I know it's going to. And I watched their lives change. They did like 180-degree flip of where they were going, and the trajectory of their lives today is night and day. I have a protege right now that I am going to teach what I know for her to help. I'm looking at working with 4 decades of people to bring in the language to reach the younger generation. Because from what I was told about the babies coming in, we need to help the babies coming in. And not that there's anything wrong with the babies, it's the babies need to understand what the truth really is in a world that is still transitioning. We are in 100-year. We are now gone through 20 years of this transition into the new millennium. We are out of Pisces and we are now in Aquarius. That's 100-year generation. That's 5 generations before all of the old limiting thinking of 5 generations before the new energy is completely 100% manifested in. Those are things that I know. Those are things that the Archangel told me. And this is all in my books, Dancing Souls. So if you want to really understand more of who I am, and I also got clarity about the books, that I understand my books even more, that when they said that they were a manual, now I understand more. Because, when you're in it and you're writing it, you don't see what they're seeing until things start to change and move. And the minute you start changing and growing and evolving and recognizing who you are more, all of a sudden you start seeing things differently. And now I'm beginning to see a bigger picture. I don't see the whole picture, I can promise you that. But I'm seeing a bigger picture of the value and what I'm bringing to the world to help us. Because you know what? With AI coming in, the world is changing even more because of AI. And regardless of AI, it's still artificial intelligence. It's not a connection, and it's programmed. And there's a darkness within AI, and I also just put the light into AI. That's what I do. I'm bringing light to the planet in any way that I can possibly bring. So I have 3 minutes left, and I want to thank all of you for your support. I want to thank you for holding the space, for allowing me and waiting for me to come back. I want to thank you for still downloading my shows, even though I've been missing in action for 3 weeks, which was not by my design, but I am coming back bigger, better, stronger, and more authentic, so you can do that. I want to show you how to step back into your power. I want to show you how to bring the real you out and how to use the tools that we are given through AI and all of that, but it's still you and it's still a human connection. That's who we are. We're still human beings and we can still navigate all of this, but it's up to each and every one of us to do that. Again, if you like the show, feel free to like and subscribe to the show. Pass it on to somebody if you think that you'll find value there. And again, KathleenMFlanagan.com is a list of my services and products there. Awakening Spirit is the free Spirit of Scent, where you can start gaining another way of taking back your power and finding how to relax in a very chaotic world. I also have Grandma's Natural Remedies, that I have CD products that actually really do work instantly because of the use of the essential oils. And I'm going to keep bringing out products. I still have a lot more that I haven't finished, but they're almost there. So I have a lot more I'm bringing out to help you navigate. So again, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. I am so honored and blessed to be a servant, to help, guide, and navigate. And from my heart to yours, I hope you all have a fabulous week. I will see you next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will be bringing out a whole new lesson. Bye for now.